Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Bob Randall and Company live show at 3 o'clock Eastern. No, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. Thank you very much. Can't believe it's already August 12th, everybody. And look at it. Wait a minute. Look at this guy on this side of me. There he is, Mr. Myke Hutchings, and it's Phineas. Say hello, Phineas. How are you, sir?
Hello, Phineas. I'm well. How are you today, Randall?
Good, good, good. TGIM, buddy.
Y-
TGM. Thank goodness it's Monday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Glad to see you and glad to be here again and asked to fill
Thank,
in.
thank
I'm
you.
still not Bob, but hey.
Yeah, that's all right. You take a few years to get some of that, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
You'll be fine, and you got to come up with that. Now, does Canada have that southern twang accent too? Does he get a? You got any of those
No,
there?
no. We've got our boots and take off.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound the same as y'all. Let me hear a y'all out of you.
What do you mean, y'all?
That's close. Oh, that's so good. But Bob, yes, of course, Bob, Carol, Scott, and Spangle and their wives are all down in Florida having a fantastic time. I hope you guys have been watching some of the Tuesday night live briefs on there. Beautiful weather, and that dolphin thing looks so cool there, Myke. I tell you, I love watching dolphins down there. They're just such a fascinating animal to me. They're looks like they're having a great time. And we're gonna have them popping in here in a little bit to say hi to everybody and all that. So let's go. Oh, speaking of popping in, there's one there. We saw. Oh, that is the clown himself, the one, the only, Mr. Spangle.
Here's Spangle.
So did you make the dolphins laugh there, Spangle? Uh-oh.
Oh, you're
Maybe
muted,
do a
Spangle.
sign language. Maybe we can do. You're hungry. You're hungry. Okay. You've been in trouble.
Yes,
There
I
we
have
go.
been in trouble too. Now we got an echo.
I thought you guys were in Florida, not in the Grand Canyon. I thought you were in Florida, not in the Grand Canyon. The echoes are going on.
Well, this is Scott.
There's Scott and there's Bob sitting on the porch. Where are the ladies? The ladies had to get away from you guys for a while, huh? Oh goodness, we're getting echoes from me through them to them. So somebody's got to turn the mic off somewhere.
You guys see me?
And well, we can see from your nose down to your. Just tilt your head down or tilt the camera up. One of the two. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Can you see me?
Welcome, Scott and Bob. Welcome, welcome. The three amigos down there, but Angela told me you guys were the Three Stooges instead, but that's another thing altogether. I think they're getting it to work out there, guys, while we're.
Some technical issues. There we go.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get on with the show. So they'll be back. Don't worry. Like I said, they'll be popping in and popping out and everything else. So how's everything going across the border there in the northern land of Canada? Canada. I can't say
Canada,
that weird
yeah.
word.
Yeah, things are just pretty low key here right now. Weather-wise, it's 77 degrees and sunny, so just a nice low key summer day here in north of the border. So
Wow, we've been having some almost fall-like feeling here. It's gotten down into the upper 50s, low 60s, and
mhm.
upper 70s, low 80s during the day. The last few days, it's going to be like that for the next week. It's almost like fall already. This doesn't happen until about the middle of September, but boy, it was nice opening that window and get down to the 50s. I even put a blanket over me the other night.
It was lovely. We had I had the windows open here last night and thought about putting a sweater on this morning, but no, just going to let the breeze go through and freshen up the house. So there we go.
Yeah, it is that nice to be able to do that. I mean, the air conditioning's nice, but you can open them few windows to get that fresh air to go across, and that definitely does freshen up the air in the house for a little bit. It does. It does. It was wonderful. I had a busy weekend performing. It was great. I had the most fun. I had did a 40th birthday party yesterday. I made the hat with the 40 on it. No, the family was just loving it. And pictures. It was a great weekend. So
Yeah.
I guess that TGIM so I can relax and not do nothing today except for have fun saying hi to everybody here. We got
Yes, indeed.
joining us already, there, Mike. We got we can scroll that up to see if we don't miss anybody here. Bill's here, Kane's here, Deborah's here, Paul, Everett. We know
Actually, that's Dana on Everett's account, it looks like. So,
that's Dana. I'm sorry. Hello, Dana.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is Dana. Sorry. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, man. Well, again, glad. Thank you for joining us. And Mike's got a really special treat for us later on today after we do all our stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it because I missed it up at the Red Suit. There they are. They're three amigos. They're back.
We got all three of us on there. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Yep. No real echo this time. So that's great.
Well, the technology must be working finally. After what, 4 seasons, Bob?
I don't know, guys. It's, you know how it is. You go out and you think you got it figured out, and you hook it up. Sometimes it don't always work the way you want it to. So
It's got a mind of its own anyway. Technology does.
yep,
you can't hear me, right, Randall?
Yeah, we can. You're just real quiet, is all.
you're real quiet.
Okay, it's probably picking up these two here.
Can you hear me?
There you go. We can hear Spangle.
We can hear Spangle, definitely.
Now then, can you hear me? Nope.
Try
hear me
Spangle's
over here.
mic there, Bob.
See, I've got a mic, and Scott's trying to come on now.
Oh, there we go. Now we can hear you, Bob.
Now, how about now?
Nope.
Where?
What about the other end of that mic? Is it turned on?
Yeah, try Spangle's. I can hear Spangle talking over there.
Stuck in your pocket there. He probably turned the battery pack off. Hey, but what do you look at that, guys? When you see that behind us,
That's a great view from your guys' window. That's a fantastic view. Oh, we're going to get some feedback here in a second. It's starting out.
hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Nope.
No, just a very faint.
Hey, maybe I'm the only one you need to listen to.
I guess maybe that's. I think maybe Spangle sabotaged you guys and want to be the talker here.
Hey, I have no
About
problem
now.
talking.
How about now?
We can hear you now, Scott. Yep.
There you go, Scott. We got you.
All right. You don't have to yell at it. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, they're pretty hot. Anyway,
There we
guys,
go.
we're down here in Navarre Beach, as everybody knows. Navarre is on the island, centrally located between Destin and Pensacola. And man, if we had a time, Spangle, Jetta, Carol, and I sat out in the water for an hour and a half, 2 hours this morning.
Oh, at least a couple hours.
Yeah, we were out there having fun in the water. I went live for about 20 minutes, so if you hadn't had a chance to check that out, go over and check it out. And Scott here, what do you got to say?
The food is amazing. And let me tell you, the folks at this hotel go on the call of duty to take care of us. And we're looking for no more staycation, maybe. Maybe we're looking for a clausecation.
Yeah.
So everybody will come down and we'll have an amazing time with the whole group. So we're working on, in fact, I talked to sales today to see if I could get us a pretty decent rate. So we're working on it.
That's right. We're challenging everyone to come down with us next year and have fun. No school, no education,
Just fun.
just fun. Just fun.
And it will be entertaining.
It'll be
Because you get the
entertaining.
Three Stooges together, it's entertaining.
Well, you got Spangle alone. He's enough to keep you in stitches. So, all right, Spangle. What else?
Hey, I'm just having fun. I got this camera facing out here and letting everybody see what's going on here. It's just gorgeous.
Looks
All
fantastic.
right. So, you want to let these guys go ahead and do the show?
Oh,
Just
wait.
hang out?
Hey, let's tell them what we saw out there today. What was it we were watching? Do you remember?
Yeah. Carol and I were sitting on the beach with Spangle. Jetta was still out in the water, and she said, "I see something that come up out of the water out there." Well, it was about, what'd you say, 300 yards, maybe 3 football fields?
If that far.
Yeah, if that far. But it was an orca whale.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't Scott, but it was beautiful. It surfaced several times, and then we lost sight of it.
Wow. As long as it's a whale and not a shark, that's
No, but hey, the ocean is big, so there are sharks out there somewhere.
yeah, and it's their home, it's their land, or not land, it's their home.
Their
Right
homes.
on.
Spangle and I was discussing earlier today that if you go due south from our location, you go all the way across the Gulf of Mexico, and you would run into the Cancun Peninsula.
Mm,
Cool beans, huh?
very,
Nice.
All right, we're
very.
going to let you guys go ahead and take the show. Thank you, Myke, for sitting in again. Randall, thank you for everything you do. Appreciate you. And we're going to hang out, watch you guys, and we'll probably pop back in at the very end and see if we can help out with the trivia winner.
You got it. Sounds great. Glad
Enjoy.
the guys popped in. They're having a great time. That's
Yep.
such a nice thing, and really, it's such a great occasion. 50 years. I mean, that's congratulations to Bob and Carol.
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
years of marriage. That's a wonderful thing. I tell you, that's something to be really proud of. And a lot of people don't make it, and that's for many, many reasons. So
Mhm.
um, that's um, that's a wonderful milestone. So hope you guys have a fantastic trip and letting us know what's going on. So, but well, I guess we got to start the show there, Mr. Myke.
Yeah, we
So
do.
let's get started with Angela running something burger. They're not barbecuing on the beach, but maybe we can make this burger on the beach. Oh, guys, as always, Bob's always so polite to me for me to go first, but we have to be. It's Mr. Myke gets to go first on when I step in. We switch sides here. I guess it's because we're switch sides is what does it. We're not, wait a minute. On that side goes first, not, and whatever. Myke's going first. He's got a great question. Thanks, Myke, for
Okay.
understanding. I hope everybody else does.
We'll
Mike's
make it work
great
out
question.
somehow. So my question for the week is, if you have a believer who has just put up a barrier or wall and does not want to play along, what one thing do you do to try to break down that barrier?
Wow.
If they are just blocking you, what do you do to make them to reel them in, so to speak? So
I guess it depends upon, for me, it depends upon their age, I guess. If they're with other, or if we're doing a one-on-one, or if it's with a family, there's a lot of variables about how you can. Sometimes if it's a younger boy, let's say, a younger man that's on the edge, and he wants to, Santa, not cool. Maybe try to, and I don't want to lose character, but sometimes you don't do the oh you've been a good boy and not the cartoony type Santa to him. Kind of be like more of a one-on-one, or even teenagers that put up that wall. I mean, they know the difference anyway, but just kind of maybe more natural feeling, natural talking than the character talking. Even though you can't lose character, um, that's what I like to do on that age group. Um, you know, and just it, and I think every situation is different when it comes to that. How do you and how do you handle it there, Myke? How do you
again, it depends on the age group. So if it's a teenager or a child who's on the cusp of not believing and they're adopting a cooler than you stance, Phineas will adopt a similar stance and just like, Yeah, I know. It's a hard to believe in me too kind of thing, and stuff like that. If it's a younger child, I will appeal to the parents and see if I can get them to play along, and or the elder siblings to play along, or the other children in the group. And if it's an adult, I will embarrass them.
It's always good to pick on, and I shouldn't say pick on, but to tease a dad or a grandpa. You'd
Mhm,
never do it to mom, or at least I don't,
mhm,
a lady. But you know, um, I'll always get a dad, and um, I'll always pick on dad if it kind of breaks the ice with the children a little bit too. If you if you tease dad, and I like to tell a story about getting gifts, and oh yeah, did you know that your dad many years ago, he didn't know this, that he didn't get one of his gifts because he was trying to catch me bring the gifts. I had to run out because he was sneaking down to catch me, and I had to leave so quick that I had to take one of his gifts with me. And
mhm.
your dad never knew that.
Yep.
So they're just little things like that. And really, dad? Well, I guess I didn't get my gift. Do I get it now? No, dad, you can't do it.
Yep.
So just yeah, that's good. We got some of course great answers coming in already. Fantastic to see that. Always. It's fantastic.
Yep. So we've got Everett who's saying that a really corny joke will break the ice, and I will never underestimate the power of a dad joke or a bad joke, which are often the same things. So,
Yeah, that a good old fashioned groaner dad joke is a good
yep.
choice.
Yep.
Good choice. Did Claus, I don't know if Kane has something to do with family reunion. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Um, so Santa Doug says that laughter changes everything. Bring in some fun props, or some sort of icebreaker. But once again, laughter does it is the shortest distance between 2 points, I find. So,
Perfect.
yep. So,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We all need that laughter because laughter makes you feel better anyway. So if you can get them giggling, and Santa's just a jolly character, so it's okay if he teases and makes you laugh. So that
yep.
should be, or definitely Phineas is. He's a little sharper, but right, like, and that's so cool when you can be that way, and people then will laugh at that.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not easy. It's gotta you gotta play that game with each and every child that comes up, and that's not a game, I guess, but
I call it walking the tightrope,
that's
and that's what it
very
feels like at times, because you've got to be able to look and assess and adjust at the exact same time. So there are times when it's a multi-generational family and you've got the fun grandma, and Phineas might flirt a little bit with grandma just to or do something like that, and especially if grandpa's there, and grandpa's going to get jealous and stuff like that. So but again, it's assessing. You've got to be able to take a look and see who your audience is.
that's what I think we do on a most do on a regular basis. You kind of see what the next family is, or you
Mhm.
kind of after all those years, and a new one will learn, and I know a lot of people don't like this line, but it's a school of hard knocks you have to do to get proficient at that, or to, and you're not always right. I know I'm still not always right at over the weekend I was totally wrong at picking somebody for one of the shows. Oh man, she was just looked like the cutest little thing sitting there and wanting to help this little young lady, and once she got on stage, all bets were off.
Wind her up and let her go. Yeah,
As
yeah,
she was wound up when she got on stage. So,
yeah.
yeah, I still make those kind of mistakes on a regular basis. So, but like Myke just said, it's a tightrope. You just have to walk. That's a great analogy.
Mhm.
That really is super cool analogy of it. So, I see Everett. Is that another one here?
This is from Dana here.
Dana. That's right, Dana. Sorry, Dana.
Dana also finds something to compliment the child on, maybe a handsome shirt or sweater, the necklaces, nail polish, and Dana will sometimes show off her jewelry and nail polish as well too. So again, if you find some sort of connection with the person in question, the individual in question. So we had a similar Santa and Phineas did a summer Santa on the beach this past weekend, and we had a similar child who was just wound up and ready to go and guns a-blazing and wanted to talk to Santa and Phineas, but at the same time there was another Santa on the beach already, and it was another gentleman with a long white beard and da 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 da. And so it was just try to figure out a way to connect with that child and reel him in, to get him to play nice with us, and also reel him in to focus on us and not all the other stimulus on the beach. So
Yeah, that's it's a little different me just doing magic than
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah.
I have limitations. We all have limitations as Santa. Doing magic, you can get a little bit more things you can do on stage to control them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But wow, that's you had a fun one too this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like fun, but yeah, it's I think children, at least I do it a lot. I love saying something about what they're wearing. Oh, those are so cool. Look at those cowboy boots or whatever it is. And
Yep.
you like Paw Patrol, you got a cool Paw Patrol, whatever it is. I don't know if it I think it's a great thing, like what Dana said, to pick something out of each child. That's a good thing to do, Dana. It really is.
Yep.
Good one. Hello, Sean. Welcome. Glad you joined us. I will be there. I think she's she's going to be in Florida.
No, she's going to be at Santa Family Reunion, I do believe, is what she's responding
wow.
to. So,
Wow, that's coming up so fast, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah.
So fast. My goodness. So that's great. Yeah, like it is like I said, I will remember what Vinny just said, Myke just said about that being a tightrope, because that's such a great analogy to think quickly about. It's a balancing act about what you're going to say and do next
Mm-hmm.
to keep that dream alive, keep that belief alive. Fantastic. Wow. Good. Anybody else? Anybody on YouTube, Angela? Or I don't. One of these days I'll hook up YouTube to my thing too. And
I don't see any comments in YouTube
you
at
got 'em
all.
there?
So, yeah, I've
Right.
got the YouTube up. We've got some viewers, but no comments as of yet. So.
Wow. Well, very good, guys. If, of course, always, if you think of something while you're here, Doug, Sean, think about something about Phineas' question, how you talk to the child that's just on the cusp there, on the barrier, or just how do you interact? Please put it up, and we can always add it in a few moments here. We will. But number 2 question from me is, we have to start thinking about how do you stay healthy during the holiday season? Is there something special that you or ritually do to stay healthy after seeing child after child after child after child, after child after child? Yeah.
Yep.
What do you do to try to keep healthy and not catch anything? How about you, Myke? What do you guys do?
Because I work in the healthcare field, I do have to get certain immunizations each year, because I will be in and out of the hospitals for my day job, just to visit with my clients. But I also make sure that I do my best to get adequate sleep, make sure I do my best to get adequate hydration, making sure that I take my, I feel like a professional wrestler. Take your vitamins, drink your water, say your prayers. But that is basically it. Is take your vitamins, make sure you're properly hydrated, especially as I'm also a professional singer. I got to make sure that I've constantly got water with me. as I say, my vitamins and minerals and supplements and stuff like that. And I wash my hands as often as I can.
Till they're raw. You have to.
Basically till they're raw,
You have to.
you know, and sometimes, yes, Phineas does decide in big, large groups. I wear gloves, and I change those gloves out frequently. I've got lots of pairs of gloves for Phineas that as soon as I'm done with them, they go into a plastic bag, and that plastic bag gets put into the laundry as soon as the gig is done. So, but yeah, and just eat right, exercise, plenty of sleep, plenty of water.
That is a full package to do. I mean, because we just don't know, especially the gloves. I Same thing. I buy a bunch of gloves and have a bunch with me. It's a necessity. And I like doing the old hard shot of protein, so I keep myself energized during the thing. I have protein drinks. You guys can laugh, but I make sure I have my Flintstones vitamins a couple times a day. Everybody laughs when I say I have my Flintstones chewable vitamins, but um, it's all we can in sleep. And like when you said, especially if we talk a lot, you have to keep your vocal cords, have to keep them hydrated. Do they stay hydrated or do they just stay moist? What would that be?
Oh, you got to keep yourself hydrated, and that way your vocal cords.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All righty there. Let's see. Hey, Jerry, good to see you. Jerry says vitamin D. Well, we all need that because, Jerry, you live in Michigan, right? Yes. So you don't get no sunshine. We have to have vitamin D in Michigan anyway. And zinc. What does zinc do? Does anybody, maybe you guys can explain what having extra vitamin zinc does? I'm not sure.
Zinc boosts your immune system and also helps fight off colds, particularly.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yep.
Specifically for that. Santa Doug says a flu shot, just like you. Yeah, we got to keep up on flu shot, pneumonia shots. They're all offered this time of year. Fresh fruits, vegetables, vitamins, water, sleep, and big bold letters. Wash your hands.
Yep.
I still have a couple of those small bottles of sanitizer in the bag I always carry, even though you change gloves. It's nice to sometimes when I read a book, I don't keep my gloves on, so then you still touch somebody, so I still have to keep some sanitizer with us, even though that COVID word is kind of gone. Not really, it's still out there somewhere. Sanitizer is still a good thing to take care of. It's Dana. I got it right, Dana, finally. Dana says lots of vitamins. And after every event, no matter how late it is, take a shower. Good idea.
Yep.
Get all whatever could be still on your arms or whatever. When we get home, Dana says she also works in healthcare. So she's got to make sure don't transfer. We don't want to transfer what we get to somebody else either. That would be a rough thing. So Sean White says vaccinations, drink lots of water, sleep, eat healthy. Don't no McDonald's, and I did that for years. Oh, I had dinner. What'd you have? McDonald's and fries. Yeah, it ain't gonna do you any good. It's not gonna. Eat good is right, Sean. I remember to eat and make sure that it's non-processed, healthy stuff. Definitely. The theater diet. Huh. Maybe you can explain what the theater diet is. That's interesting. The theater diet. Now it's U.S. theater, not Canadian spelled theater. There, the R-E and the E-R. So even though I like it spelled the R-E better. I do. I like center spelled with R-E, but nobody likes it that way. But you know. Santa Doug says, not a fan of gloves. I mean, yeah, they do carry bacteria and all that, but sometimes that's a necessity for what Santa's look is. And a lot of times you don't have to. It depends upon your character.
Yep.
But then you just wash and sanitize. Good, Doug. I have them when I enter the typical and take them off, of course, depending upon the event, exactly what the thing is. I don't blame you, especially if you're doing libraries, your children doing anything you're going to read, they have to come off anyway. At least I can't. I don't know I mean, they say to take your little dots of glue or whatever and put little dots on the tip so you can turn the pages, and it's never seemed to work very good for me. So it's a cool idea, but it's never seemed to work. But yeah, those gloves, Myke said it perfectly. Put them in that baggie, take them home, and put them in a washer. You don't want them to then that glove just contaminate the other gloves, and
Mhm.
so that stuff goes. Hey Nathan, good to see you. How you been down there? How's everything at the college doing? Um, yes. Oh, they're gummy ones, sir. He says Nathan says Sam sells Flintstones multivitamins and gummies. Yeah, I should try the gummy. I've never tried the gummy kind, just the old-fashioned chewables. Everybody always makes fun of me saying Flintstones vitamins, but
Mhm.
they're so cute. You know, seeing Fred and Barney and Dino. Sorry, guys. It's grew up with that for stuff, and yeah, I guess they're strong.
You're still a Flintstones kid. Come on, you know.
Said I'm still a Flintstones kid. Yabba dabba do, buddy. Um, Deborah says always change your gloves a lot,
Yep.
and that can probably not be said probably enough. That's and just like what Myke said is to get sleep. That's sometimes the hardest thing when you're working.
Mhm.
If you're working a lot, if you've got a real job, whatever, some regular job, then you're doing performances on the side. Or if you're doing a performance, and some guys are in the chair 6, 8, 10 hours a day sometimes, especially if you're doing a big box store or a mall. You go home, you've got to unwind, shower, and then try to get some sleep. And unwinding can take a little while. So getting sleep is not always the easiest thing to do.
It isn't. You've got the adrenaline going after performing, or your mind's going because you had an interesting visit, and I will use interesting as both good and bad. You know, so you never know. So yeah.
Yeah. Kane says mix apple cider vinegar with local honey. It becomes grandma said. Well, it'd be better if I probably read it on here. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. Mix apple cider vinegar with local honey, just because grandma said so. Grandmas are always right anyway.
Mhm.
Then gets lots of rest and hydration. It's probably is something in the apple cider. I guess vinegar is good for you for many, many reasons, but man, sometimes it's rough going down, you know?
That's why you add
Yeah,
the
honey.
honey to it. Yeah, and in theory, the local honey's supposed to help if you've got allergies too, because you're taking the local flower pollen. So who knows?
As long as it's real honey, and
Yeah.
is there's got to be a processed honey out there, I'm sure. It's got to be shouldn't say a fake honey, but
Mhm.
um, local honeys. Kane says local honey for allergies.
Yep.
I never knew that. I don't have many allergies. I've gotten so I've been allergic to work lately, but that's about the. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, not really. Not really. After last weekend. Oh, that's okay. I got a whole week to relax before next weekend.
Yay!
I can rest up. Got to run, Deb. Okay, Deborah, thank you for watching. Watch the rest on YouTube or on replay, Deb. Thanks for joining us for a while.
Thank you for joining us, Deb. Have a good day.
But yeah, it's something you really have to take time and think about. I make sure I stock up on my protein drinks, ready to made. They're little thing, Premier Protein drinks. I stock up on protein bars, of course, my vitamins. I make sure I get all that way ahead of time, so I have enough for the 2 months that I'm working. So, and then bottled water is always great to have, or unless you have a filter thing, but that's up to you. But how do you clean your puppets, Jerry? Myke will talk about that. I'm sure he'll talk about that.
I will talk about that, but just generally, as far as props go and things like that, I try not to let anybody handle them. And if they are something that needs to be handled, it will be something that is easily cleaned and easily sanitized. So typically something that is either made of plastic with not a lot of paint on it, or well-sealed wood prop. but typically I try to let people handle things as little as possible, particularly during cold and flu season.
Yeah, it's got to be rough. Any kind of like probably Jerry's talking about is a puppet
Yeah.
that has material and or
Yeah.
fur or whatever. And how do you get that out? That's good. That takes some work.
Yeah.
Hi Ray, glad you joined us. But that's because that's going to be, think about it. You've got the puppet in your hand, and that
Mhm.
somebody just touched that puppet's hand. Now they leave. That puppet's hand has not been sanitized. How can you
Nope.
sanitize a puppet? And then it touches the next child. So it is. It's not easy, and like Mike
Nope.
said, try not to probably try to get less children to touch. Like we don't want them to touch our suits because of that either. Our their hands with candy or whatever. So
My general rule is if I'm not using it right at that very moment, it is stored away in a prop bag or in my case, out of sight, out of mind. And when it is done, it goes back into that case.
that's good. That's good. Now you do well. You probably talk about it anyway. Do you walk around with puppets? You do walk around interaction with them, right? Not just strictly stage work, right?
I do with some of my puppets, and we'll discuss that later.
Gotcha. That's what they call a teaser, folks. That's what they call a teaser. Well, that's great, guys. As always, we can't thank you enough for your input on everything. Definitely start thinking about, all the questions are to get ready for the holidays. I mean, how do you handle that child that is on the edge? How are you gonna, tell them here, try it. It's real. It's real. Whatever you're gonna do. So, or biggest thing is stay healthy so you can work all that season. That's a big thing. Stay healthy so you can work all that season. Thank you again, folks, as always. Now it's just about trivia time, but Angela's going to play SantaCloset.org.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob, Randyl and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Yeah, really check it out because there's so many things you can get from Santa Wade and all that for this time of year, and get it. You have it, order it. They ship out quick anyway, but get it. Anything you're doing, check it out. Kane did had a just one more thing I didn't mean to before Mike reads the question. Another underrated method to boost your immune system is to get lots of sunshine. That is definitely the truth. That's where, of course, vitamin D comes from. That's why we here in Michigan, most of us are on vitamin D pills because we don't have, especially during the winter season. We call it the gray season, December, January, and February. You'll get some days, but nothing like any of the southern states where sunshine is how many days a year. You get an hour or two off for the rain during the day, but yeah, that's where and that will help out a lot. You get packed with that. But we've got a great question. Mike's going to read it, and I hope I kept it. There's a few.
It's a Bob question.
It's a Bob question. I apologize. There's no blank. There's no blanks, guys, but there's a few answers. So I hope it'll work.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get it.
Okay, so Bronner's is the world's largest Christmas store in Frankenmuth, Michigan. How big is Bronner's? How many square feet? How many people visit Bronner's yearly? How many billboards are there? And who was the famous actor that purchased a Santa suit in 1976?
There's actually four answers we need
Mm-hmm.
about Bronner's, the world's largest Christmas store. Um, I'll give you guys one hint. We were talking about Florida and the sunshine. I saw a billboard for Bronner's on I-75 in Florida when I was driving back. So that's one of the states. You don't need to know the states, but how many billboards are there? Of course, how big is it square footage wise? How many people visit yearly? It's all easy to find on the internet. And this is cool. The famous actor that got a Santa suit. I think that's very cool. The actor that got it. I think that's very. Our age group should still know who he is. Oh goodness gracious! Great guys. Hopefully,
Hopefully, we'll get an answer, and the winners
Yeah.
also know that their name will go in the hat for the scholarship to North Pole Cornerstones in 2025 as well. So,
yeah, you get a gift and you get your name in the hat to win free the free for North Pole Cornerstones.
yep.
So that's a almost $400 value then. Besides the, um, we got people coming in already, but we'll see if we get all four answers. We got four questions. We need four answers, so that's good. What we'll do is, while they're trying to find that out, we will do the Talbot Insurance promo. Very good, very good. And I can't stress enough. I know I always talk about it every week about getting insurance. Spend that little bit of money. I know Bob says it. It's not even a performance or two of a payment to do that, to cover yourself in case something happens, costume, or in case somebody gets hurt or whatever it is. Um, um, Background checks, whatever, and it's the time of year to get them now. You've got a month or two, but definitely invest. How important is in liability insurance in Canada, Myke? How
It's a lot of places are asking for it now. It hasn't been as important as it has been in the States, but again, as we're getting more multinational companies coming in, the big thing that most places want are your background check, and we also have what we call our vulnerable sector screening, which is any time that you are going to be working closely with children, you need to have that, and that's a little more than a police background check. It's a little more detailed than that. So yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's and they don't want most people to get their background check too soon before the season. Otherwise, you could do something crazy, and so this is about the time you can get them. It takes a little. That usually doesn't take very long,
Mhm.
especially and especially for most of the companies to get through. But check out insurance. There's so many things that will cover if you're an entertainer or if you're need. Of course, Larry does home, car, everything.
Yep.
So the old package deal, you usually get a better deal when you package everything up. So it's a good thing to do. We
Yep.
can't really can't do without it. So I know we've got some people coming in on the answers. Of course, poor Angela's trying to hit and peck, which was because there's four answers.
Mhm.
So poor Angela, sorry. Sorry. So what we can do, we will go move on, of course. Let's talk about what's coming up. Myke brought up, of course, North Pole Cornerstones is going to be back again in San Antonio, Texas, January 30th or 30th through
First.
31st. I got a mark on mine there. I messed it up somehow on mine. Through February 2nd in San Antonio. Again, we're the two schools, Santa Ana U, and of course,
Santa in the business of being Santa. Sat Bob.
Thank you. Just you can say it's old age. It's something. Yeah. Sat Bob School put together. Besides, they do such a cool job. Myke was there last year and really thumbs up. And so that's cool. And Myke, of course, is, which I want you to talk about it for a few seconds about your scholarship for that too, again, if you don't mind.
Well, there are a number of scholarships for North Pole Cornerstones. There's the one that's being offered by Tuesday Night Live in the Bob and Randyl and Company show. There is one from North Pole Cornerstones, which is available. You can look it up on npcornerstones.com, and they have a scholarship. And every year, I have offered a scholarship in memorial of my partner who passed from cancer in 2013. And it is for an educational opportunity that is more than just, this is how you ho, 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 this is the reindeer's names. This is for performing Santas and for people who have shown that they are interested in improving their skills as a performing Christmas performer. So again, that's also on North Pole npcornerstones.com. Information about the Larry Lance Memorial Scholarship. I prefer it to go to a Canadian, but I have given it to Americans in the past when there is no Canadians who have requested the scholarship. And you contact me directly and we can talk it over and I can explain the process. But it covers the tuition only, so you have to be able to cover the travel and hotel.
Yeah, all the scholarships just do the tuition. You have to do your the travel and hotel. That's but that still is a big, and they take care of a lot of your meals as it is.
Yep.
Besides the fellowship and the learning and all that, it's like Myke's question to begin with. You'll learn stuff like that and practice it there while you're there. Myke's first question to our something burger question. So
yep.
That's coming up in next year, of course. Already think about 2025.
Yep.
And ahead, since we'll be busy a couple months before that. Mm-hmm. Then yet this year is Santa Nana Holiday University with Deanna and everybody. They're going to be teaching in Phoenix and Scottsdale, Arizona, September 26th through 29th. Again, great class, great school, great ladies teaching. They'll be a part, of course, North Pole Cornerstones also.
Yep.
Just a great, don't miss it. If you're in that area or you want to travel to Arizona in September, it's not quite as hot there in September, so that might not be too bad. Your tires might not melt to the concrete in September there, like it has this summer. So
yeah,
it's beautiful area. So of course, then we're talking about next year again on another one, School of Santas, 2025 in Branson, July 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Man, that's of course Spangle puts out a good thing this year. Keynote speaker,
yep,
Lee Andrews. I guess they already have half the registrations already there. Got 50 some reservations done.
Yep.
Spangle squeezes in 120. So, but that's next year. But it's something we always got to plan ahead. Because it's especially with Lee Andrews being there the way it was last year with Jeff McMullen, it's sold out. So
yep,
it's sold out. We can go from there if you want to. Myke, take the August one.
Okay. So upcoming Tuesday Night Live guests and shows. Tomorrow we'll be Staycation Live from Navarre Beach in Florida with Bob, Spangle, and Scott.
The old Three Amigos are gonna, well, Angela calls them the Three Stooges or whatever. I can't.
Well, Bob was the only one wearing a hat when they dropped in earlier today. But I don't think it was a sombrero though. So
no.
And on August 20th, we have Pamela Swank Yates, who is the seamstress and designer for Swanky Santas. And she creates costumes, suits, and accessories, including a remarkable Santa sack, handmade with care from quality materials. And she will talk about her process and a lot about what she does as a designer and creator of Santa apparel and accessories. So
See, that's what's so cool about Santa can wear some unique things, but Mrs. Claus, I mean, and elves now too, same thing. If you want to go the more medieval or Renaissance look, you want to do the old-fashioned style, Santa elf look. There are so many. Same with Mrs. Claus. You can do it's limitless. And to talk to Pamela, give you some ideas. You can bounce them back and forth and get something custom made. And that's fun to get something custom made for yourself.
it is.
That is a real thrill. This is just for you. So that's a good one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. I always interrupt.
September 3rd, Tuesday Night Live is celebrating a milestone, their 150th show. So
that's crazy. That's a lot of shows. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort for Bob and Angela and everybody in family. That's huge. And of course, we all know, always has been and always will be free. All right, Mike. Woo-hoo! Yeah, it'll always be that way, guys. That's the thing. That's what's amazing about Bob and Tuesday Night Live. And of course, Wednesday is going to be that way. And we'll talk about those shows coming up too. That it's all free to connect with you folks. So again, there I go rambling again, man. Just tell me to quiet down.
And then on September 10th, we have a treat for everyone because he doesn't talk a lot on the public scale. We have Philip Wentz from Santa's Village in East Dundee, Illinois. Philip is, I hesitate to use elder statesman, but he is one of the, my younger coworkers would call them one of the OGs, and he's provided so much to the community, and it will just be wonderful to hear him talk.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Very, very. And we got one more in September there, and we got a couple of things to talk about after that.
Yep.
So much going on.
In September, on 24th of September, we have Larry and Sherry Davis. They are performing Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they are also alumni of School of Santas and North Pole Cornerstones, and they will be on to talk about being a performing Santa and Mrs. Claus. So
that's a cool combo. Then, of course, we've got a lot of things in there for October.
Yeah.
Only a few weeks in October. I think there's only about 11 shows left before the season starts. So, but then in October 22nd is Tuesday Night Live. It's a special. It's the 4th annual Roundtable. So if we're going to be talking about that more as it comes up, and they'll be talking about it Tuesday Night Live. If you have any questions, concerns, or whatever you want to talk about, get a question in, and we'll be glad to talk about that on October 22nd, just before the season hits. So all those things are definitely sharp in your mind about that. Then, of course, one of the most fun shows of the year is October 29th is the Halloween show. What a riot. What a riot. We'll be talking more about that, getting dressed up, and people get time to talk about their character and everything on the show. And there's been a lot of great winners. I know Mel won this Western Skull. It was some great. Greg did a great job on his Phantom of the Opera look, and it's been so many cool things. So don't miss the Halloween special. Then, of course, can't believe you're saying this, but November 5th would be the last show of the season, November 5th. And I think it's like 11 or 12 weeks away.
Yep.
Man, where does this time go, Mike? Where does the year go?
Time flies when we're having fun.
Having fun. Yeah, spending time with your brothers and sisters in red, and just getting ready for the season. There's always something to learn, something to do. That's why don't miss the school, don't miss a class, don't miss a get together. If you're a local luncheon, hang out with them.
Yep.
Hang out with them. So many things. So should we ask Angela if she's got a winner? Maybe not. Angela. Oh, there we go. We got somebody popped in. Great, great, great. Bob's popped in here.
All right, so we do have a winner.
Oh, we got some feedback is what we've got.
We do have a winner.
Oh, we do have a winner.
We have a winner. That's right. Today's winner is Joe Steffen.
Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations, Joe. The question again was, actually, let me scroll back down to the original. Bronner's is the world's largest Christmas store in Frankenmuth, Michigan. How big is Bronner's in square foot? Which is 3,200 square feet. How many average, of course, visit yearly? 2 million people walk through that store every year.
Wow.
There are 60 billboards in 7 states. You didn't need to worry about 7 states, but there are 60 billboards. I was just shocked when I saw one in Florida. I really was. I mean, that's a long drive to be advertising for Bronner's in Florida. But the coolest thing I thought was the actor that bought a Santa suit in 1976 was John the Duke Wayne. John Wayne bought a Santa suit from there, which I think is cool as can be.
Hey, I just bought all my sidekicks coffee cups from there.
And we do appreciate it. Thank you,
Yeah,
Spangle.
thank you.
Very cool. But yeah, that's man, I think the Duke bought had a Santa suit, of course, and it was from Bronner's, which is very cool. Congratulations, Joe.
It's a nice
Good
store.
job.
I'm sure you get to go up there plenty, don't you, Randall?
Yeah, I'm only about over an hour away. In fact, I was talking to a friend. We're going to take the grandsons up there. We're going to take them up there in a couple weeks. So get there before. I want to get there again before you bleach, because once you bleach, you look like Santa. You get stopped every 5 minutes. So
We
go
were
there
up there.
before I bleach. And
When we were there, this little girl kept looking at us and waving and everything, and then finally we went back into this sale area, and it kind of goes into a room, and they were in there, and mom was in there, grandma was in there, and I said, "Is it all right if I give the children a token?" And she said, "Yes."
So I gave them a token. So I gave them a token, and they little girl said to her big sister, "Goes, I told you he was Santa."
that's perfect. It just made them a little bit more, made their day. They'll remember that.
And using his phone and
That's it is an amazing store. It really is. So
Yes.
I thought I'd do a Bob question, a bunch of answers, but not with all the blanks. How you guys doing down there? You are you tired yet down there? Are you
Now we're
exhausted?
ready to
Getting any
go
sleep?
to the ocean again.
well,
The three
we're
amigos.
wondering why y'all haven't made it down here yet.
Well, somebody's got to work here. Somebody's got to work at the North Pole.
Yep.
And I must say, you guys are doing a fabulous job.
So why
just,
don't we put in the comments if there's anybody out there that is contemplating of coming with us next year? Let us know in the comments.
Let everybody know. Is there somebody that would like to head down there with the TNL live crew next year? Do what they did this year? I just love to take that boat ride you guys did with the dolphins. Man, that looks so cool. That just looked like
But the weather is just amazing. You wouldn't believe. I mean, we're sitting outside, and there's a nice breeze, and you can hear the ocean crashing up on the shore. And
doesn't look real busy, which is nice.
But you can tell the nice breeze by the way my hair's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, your hair's blowing in the wind. It really is.
I tell you what, the water sure felt good today. It's just the right temperature. Let's put it that way.
Bob and his wife were out about chest deep today.
Yeah, we did. We went chest deep. It's hey, we spent plenty of time at the beach, but the older you get, the harder it is to take those waves on.
They
Yeah,
can get pretty
Spangle.
powerful. They can knock you over pretty easily. And that sand can tire you out just walking in that sand. They say it's twice the amount of calories you burn walking in the sand than it is walking on a concrete or whatever. So
And what's amazing is to see Spangle on a boogie board.
Were you hanging 10
That's
there,
the
Spangle?
clown.
Were you hitting the
Falling off the
curl?
boogie board.
Hang 10, brother, hang 10.
Hey, Randall, you mentioned the sand. The sand here in Navarre is super sugar fine.
It's like
And,
powdered sugar.
It's just
Wow.
like powdered sugar
Nice.
is. You step on it and it's amazing feeling.
It's not too hot. Sometimes it gets pretty warm, that sand.
That's Baba walking about shoeless across the deck.
Well, yeah, the sand was okay. It was bearable, but as soon as we got on the catwalk down here, coming up to the hotel from the beach, I made about 20 steps and couldn't take it no more. I threw my shoes down. I didn't care if I had sand all over me or what. I just had to get shoes on.
So would
Now,
you say
this
you
is
had the
Florida.
hot
You guys are wet over
hotel?
here. Is that where you're at? Is that where you're at here in Florida, about here? Because that's Miami. That's Key Largo. That's Orlando. Are you over here in the Panhandle, right?
We're in the Panhandle region. If you look at the map, there's the Mobile, Alabama line, and you come around, and it makes almost a complete U, and the peninsula, I say peninsula, actually an island that sticks across, goes from the end of the bay down here back to the point, and from the point down is known as the Big Bend area. That's where the hurricane went in last week, was in the Big Bend area. So we're almost due south of Shipley, if everyone knows where Shipley is. That's where Rex lives, and we're almost due south of him. And like I said earlier, if you went due south from right here, you'd run into Cancun eventually.
We are actually on an island. We're not actually on the mainland of Florida. We're actually on an island. It's a barrier island. But if you look at a map and look at Pensacola and you look at Destin, we're kind of right in the middle of them on the island. Literally, the island is so narrow that out Scott's side of the room you can see the bay, and then you can see Florida, the mainland, and out our side you see the Gulf. I mean,
Well, and on Scott's side, you literally have the parking lot, the 2-lane road, and one lot space where a house would be, and then the bay.
Wow.
As we were driving in, you could the road had gotten so narrow, the island had gotten so narrow, you could actually see the bay on one side and the Gulf on the other
I'm talking
from your
about less
car,
than 50 yards either way.
probably.
Bubba just said exactly what I was going to say, because when Randall held up, you're from Michigan when you hold up the hand.
But see, I do it with Florida too. I do it with Florida. I do it with Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like a
this
great
is the
time, guys. I'm
only
so glad you've had
hotel
great weather down there.
on this end of the peninsula.
it's the only hotel
Or the island.
in Navarre Beach, on Navarre
Yeah.
Beach.
Oh yeah.
And Navarre Beach is kind of a hidden gem because we're between two of the most popular destinations. But as you can see, there's not a lot of folks here. It's really, a matter of fact, our slogan is the most relaxing
beach in Florida.
Most relaxing beach in Florida. That's our motto, and it's so true.
Each
And-
one of you,
and it's
what
very
has been your
kid-friendly.
favorite thing to eat? Scott made a comment about food. What has been your favorite thing to eat, each one of you?
Mine is that Scott's on the 6th floor and I'm on the 2nd.
That's not to eat, Spangle.
Oh, favorite thing to eat?
Not just favorite things.
Everything.
Spangle.
I have not gotten anything here that wasn't a 5-star.
I had barbecued cubed pork belly for lunch on a corn and like a corn chutney. It was placed on it, and it was 3 big cubes of barbecued pork belly, tender. It was really good.
That blackened shrimp was pretty good the other night.
It was real good, and Bob said that's the best coconut shrimp he's had in his life.
Yeah, we went back down to Pensacola to take the dolphin tour, and the dolphin tour was right next door. At the marina there was right next door to a place called Shaggy's, and they actually have other locations other than just in Pensacola. But oh my God, the best coconut shrimp I've ever had anywhere, and I like to eat a lot of coconut shrimp. These were 15 giant coconut shrimp.
That Thai sauce was pretty good.
Thai sauce was killer, the best I've ever had. And the tartar sauce was not bad, but that Thai sauce. And we went down to Top Burger today, a little joint that's part of an Exxon gas station. You're talking about old school, what I refer to as bowling alley hamburgers.
Oh, those are good.
Oh my God, it was phenomenal.
What'd you get a cheese? Carol got a cheeseburger for $4 or something.
It's well, yeah, less than $5. Mine was $6.50 for a double meat, and that was the bacon cheeseburger.
Guys,
And you know, you get a order of fries from McDonald's. They come in that little sack. You know you're in the right place when you get a bag of fries. It's one of those like you used to take your lunch to school in. That thing was full.
And they're thick cut fries.
They're thicker cut, exactly. And then the burger, you know you're in the right place when the meat hangs off on all sides. The bun is smaller than the tomato and the meat.
how about those ice cream?
Oh, I
the ice
forgot
cream
about
bar
that.
downstairs.
Yeah, they every night they have an ice cream bar open from what is it, 5 to 9:30 or
5:30
something.
to
After
9:30.
9:30.
And I'm gonna tell you, I get 2 scoops of salted caramel truffle ice cream, and they will put caramel syrup on it and pieces of Reese's peanut butter cup
Whipped
chopped up
cream.
and on
They'll
there.
put anything you want on it. They got a big old list.
And the toppings are $1. As many as you want and all you want. Just $1.
I think we ought to challenge them tonight.
Shall we? For what would the challenge be?
See how many toppings. Tell them we want 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of that, 3 of this, and see what they do.
So here's the key to the ice cream bar. When you check in as a guest, you get a $25 voucher that's good every day. But it's only good for that day. So if you don't use up your whole $25, you lose what you don't use in that day. But then tomorrow you get another $25.
And I
And
could have bought
it's-
lunch on that today.
Yeah,
actually.
it's all for food and beverage. So that's a pretty good amenity that they give to their guests here. And we've been using it on ice cream. So
Well, why not?
Imagine
The ice
that.
cream pop starts at $4.
Yeah.
They got banana splits, shakes.
oh, we got the
malts,
banana split
sundaes.
last night, and it was as big as the state of Texas. I
Well,
couldn't
Colleen
believe it.
tried to eat one.
Me and Carol couldn't eat the whole thing. It was
And
great.
what about that cookie shake they do that's got that chocolate chip cookie that's probably this big on it?
Hey, how about the free snow cones when we got out of the beach?
Snow cones
today?
Oh,
come in
yeah.
today from the ocean, and they had free snow cones in there.
I mean,
You guys have been feasting more. You've been sunning.
Or the
That came out of nowhere. Yeah, you guys are feasting more than you are having fun in the sun. The way it sounds, that sounds great. Now I'm hungry. That's the problem. We gotta get going on this show so we can
down
eat.
to Sailors something.
Yep.
Sailors, that's what it was. Sailors something.
Sailors, we went down to Sailors the first day. It's Sailors
It's on the beach.
Pagoda.
Pagoda.
Pagoda. Sailors Pagoda, and it was down. It was that was really fun too. And I will tell you a little something funny. Well, and I might as well share this. We went in and we asked for a table for 6, and the funny thing about it is everybody got their place, and there was a piece of conduit that's probably 6 inches around, and the chair was all that was between the table and the conduit was the chair, and I'm talking about that's all there was room for. And I looked at the poor waitress and said, "Now look at me and tell me how to sit in that chair." So the funny thing about the story is that it was a table for 6, but really only 5 would fit. And even Colleen, being as small as she is, she wasn't fitting in there either.
No, but not
I don't
even
know
a
how they got
child.
the chair in there.
Not even a child would fit there.
I guess they put the
But,
chair next to it.
but
and pushed
you
it.
guys know with traveling with these 2 clowns, they're going to leave that chair for me.
Hey, we ain't no fools.
You snooze, you lose.
All right, so what's that, Randall?
You snooze, you lose. There, Scott. You jumped in first.
Well, just trying to be polite and let the ladies have their choice of seats.
Well, thank you, honey. That's all right, sweetheart.
That's just wrong.
Just wrong, he said.
That's just
Well-
wrong, guys.
Well, we want to remind everybody to watch the Tuesday Night Live channel. We will be doing the show live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. from Navarre Beach. And also, we also want to remind you that, who knows, you may see some other Santas around that we may visit. We have found out that one of the Santa Clauses, that there's a Santa Claus that works in the hotel. He's the night security guard, real bearded Santa.
He's the Santa for this hotel at Christmas time.
And I met his wife.
Nice lady.
She was downstairs and with the short hair.
Uh-huh.
And I think she's British.
And we still have another Santa that's staying here that Spangle met the first night coming off the elevator.
Yeah.
And we was going to try to get him on today, but we've seen him for breakfast, hadn't seen him since. Think he's hiding from us.
I think he is. I do believe he is.
I think he is. All right, Randy, I know you guys got a show to do. We just appreciate
No problem.
you.
Glad you guys joined us.
Glad you guys
Fantastic.
enjoy us. Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Enjoy.
Thank
Stay
you, Myke.
safe,
Thank
guys.
you for filling in again. Phenomenal job you two do.
T-N-L
L
live.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, guys, don't miss the watching tomorrow night. You know, those they should have a great show. It should be a lot of fun. And of course, don't forget Wednesday night is Kringle time with Michael Howe and Michael Herbie Brewer. Wednesday night, don't miss that. And of course, Thursday night is Santa Mel and her Magical Fellowship group. And then after, I'm not sure which week this is, if it's Sean or if it's Erica Mitten, Wingnut the elf, but it's right after Mel. So don't miss Thursday night. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing but fun on all this stuff from Tuesday Night Live. So, but you can watch those clowns again tomorrow night.
Yep.
Going on. So it is just about that time. Michael, I think you're going to be the first one. So Bob was always polite to me to go first, and he did his. And I think I definitely want to watch your show. So Mike's got some wonderful things, a teaching moment. So Jerry, this is what I think you've been waiting for. So, and me too.
I believe so. Jerry was wonderful to loan me one of his sidekicks at the Red Suit Conclave. However, my time was too short, but there has been a lot of requests because I often post that Santa and Phineas have sidekicks who join us sometimes at the North Pole. And this is the latest sidekick. This is our good friend, the Yeti. He has not told me his name yet because he just joined us around a couple of weeks ago. So we're finding out what his personality is. And he's just working on finding his voice. But we do work with puppets, both Santa and Phineas, particularly during our live streams. So we have been lucky enough to have a couple of friends who build puppets, and one particular who is a remarkable puppet builder. And Yeti is the latest addition. Again, as I said, we have not figured out his name yet. You're just trying to figure out who your personality is, aren't you? But he's finding his voice and his personality. But prior to Yeti, we have had another sidekick who has joined us for the past couple of years. And this is, well, I'll let him tell you who he is himself. Hey there, how you? Good. And this is Bjorn the Beer. And Bjorn managed to join us at the North Pole a couple of years back. He got lost and managed to find his way into Christmas Valley. And he's been quite comfortable because, cookies, really good cookies. So he's definitely not one to shy away from getting what he likes. He is added amount of chaos and playfulness. And so we work with puppets quite regularly. And you'll see that they are both quite large. They are both the size of small toddlers, but you don't need to have a big, huge puppet custom built or anything like that. So what do we use our puppets for? Well, our puppets are used, again, for our live streams. We use them for comic relief, adding a little bit of chaos when Santa and Phineas just aren't enough. And it's often fun to have them just sort of peeking in during the live stream and adding just a little bit of randomness and chaos to the live stream. And so even just by showing up like this in the corner of the screen, Bjorn can have a whole bunch of fun and a whole bunch of shenanigans happening. And as you can tell, both Bjorn and the Yeti have definite characters. They are definite, very big characters, and are definitely fun to play with in a sheer amount of chaos. Now, Jerry had asked earlier, if I take the puppets with me to an event and they get handled, how do I clean them? These puppets, I'm lucky enough that they are spot washable and spot cleanable, particularly as they are white. But I try not to let grubby hands or sticky fingers handle them, because they are actually quite expensive. They are professional quality puppets, and they are custom made for Santa and Phineas, and join us regularly at the North Pole. Now, what do? They tell jokes. They often just add a bit of chaos and randomness to the situation. And sometimes they just sort of stick their heads in and just sort of sneak in and sneak a look and such like that. And yes, they are big puppets, but you will find that you don't need to always have big puppets. Jerry Keel provided me with a puppet that I have something similar, and this is made by Folk Manus. And again, this is the Baby Yeti. And this puppet is quite a remarkable puppet, because in addition to the articulated mouth, his eyebrows can wink at you. And you will find that his fingers, he can blow a kiss and wave bye-bye. And so there are lots of opportunities to working with puppets. I mean, you can just have the talk to the mouth and everything like that, or you can sit and have a conversation with them. But the key is that when you're working with a puppet, the most important part about what the puppet is the eyes, because you need to know what they're looking at. So if they're talking to you, make sure they're looking at you, make sure you're looking at them. And if they're going to talk to someone in the audience, make sure they're looking at the audience. You'll learn how to poke your hand in the right direction. So what does this Yeti do? Well, this Yeti is actually a baby Yeti. You can see that he only has 2 teeth. And so his backstory for us, for Santa and Phineas, was that there was a big windstorm, and as they are originally from the Himalayas in Nepal, Yeti blew in during a windstorm and got lost. So Claus and the elves, Mrs. Claus and the elves took a great deal of care just to take care of the baby Yeti. So, but again, you don't really have to do much with them. You don't even have to have a voice. A lot of people say, I'm not a ventriloquist. Well, you don't really need to be a ventriloquist if you want to. That's an art that takes a lot of practice. But I mean, if you're doing it well with the Yeti, and like, the people are going to look at what Yeti is saying and not what your mouth is doing. But again, you don't even have to give them a voice, as long as you give them a personality. And as I said, with this Yeti, again, he will look at someone and give them a wink, and then blow a kiss and wave bye-bye. And you can get a lot just with that, just being a very silent character and just, well, kind of being cute and adorable. So whether or not you choose to work with puppets is entirely on you. At the same time, we also have Minerva, who is a snowy owl who joins us oftentimes. And you'll see that Minerva can look at you and turn her head around and look around. And she doesn't even make any noise. She just sort of sits quietly. And Phineas comments that she just sits and judges us when we're having shenanigans, and she'll shake her head and nod her head in agreement and stuff like that. But they're simple. You don't have to do a lot. They're not, well, the Folk Manus puppets definitely are a pricey endeavor. They're anywhere from $70 to $100 a piece, but they look absolutely realistic. Last year we added our baby reindeer, and this reindeer was, she's too little to run the sleigh, but she is learning, and you can see that we've got a harness on her. and if you want to bring out one of the babies, and here you go, here's one of the babies, and she can play shy and shiver and quake, and again, you don't need to make any noise. It's just another way of breaking the ice, bringing people in closer, and just sort of showing, "Oh, I know, dear, I know, it's okay, it's okay." Just bringing in a way of character, and playing and bringing more backstory to your version of the North Pole or whatever you're doing. Now, these puppets, the Folk Manus, they're all easily washable. They can go into the laundry, and you just have to make sure that you dry them a gentle cycle. But again, I treat them the way I would treat the fur on a Santa suit, and that would just be spot clean as necessary. Use some Woolite or a gentle detergent and just spot clean where it gets dirty, and then brush it out, because you don't want to have to go through this. And they're an expensive proposition, and they're supposed to be your friends and your pets and other characters. So treat them with the respect that they deserve. But again, they don't need a voice. You can just give them a personality. You can just give them, as I said, the Yeti's very playful. This reindeer, the baby reindeer, she's very shy and nervous, and so she'll bury her head down in Phineas's arm, or give Santa a nuzzle and give Santa kisses. And she's just very quiet and gentle, because she's just a baby and just newborn. So lots of opportunities. I'm always willing to talk puppets with you. I use the reindeer as a walk around quite regularly, and I also use the Yeti as a walk around, the smaller of the two Yetis. As I say, the larger ones, they are big. They are about the size of a small toddler. They are not filled with stuffing. They're actually filled with beach balls. So they're quite light, but they are, like me, big and awkward and kind of derpy to have around. So as I said, Folk Manus is the gold standard for consumer level puppets. And then if you are looking for something a little better, Axtell Expressions, Steve Axtell, has a remarkable, he's got a polar bear, and he's got a little tiny elf that is absolutely wonderful. But again, they're quite expensive. The polar bear, I do believe, is around $500 American now. And I think the elf is just shy of 200 and some odd dollars. And then Roy Stone of Jamstone Magic has a couple of new puppet ideas. He's got a gift box that opens up and it has an elf head in it. And he's got a number of other flat pack puppets that can be used and have conversations with as well. So lots of options, lots of opportunities to create a new character without having to bring another mouth to feed or someone else. They're quiet, they're easy to carry around. As I said, you don't have to feed them like if you had an animal, and they're fun. They can add up to the shenanigans and provide another venue for interaction. And the baby reindeer and the baby Yeti are wonderful icebreakers, particularly with very shy children, very shy adults with disabilities, and who might be a little apprehensive of visiting with Santa and Phineas. So we have lots of opportunities. So try puppets. And if you want to talk puppets, by all means, I'm happy to speak with you offline and elsewhere. Jerry and I had a quick conversation at North Pole at the Red Suit Conclave. And I've played with the Yeti at a couple of events in Michigan as well. So thank you.
Fantastic. I love that, especially that little reindeer is dynamite.
She is. She is so wonderful, and just
And you can have her like pretend you're eating, like putting something in your hand, pretend she's nibbling, and
it's
just so cute, and such a, like Myke said, such a great icebreaker to ones that are apprehensive, because little ones that are apprehensive about Santa or whatever they will come and pet that little one.
They'll come and pet the reindeer, and they will give the small Yeti high fives and stuff like that. So
That Big Yeti's got it. He's great personality. You definitely got to work on that. Whatever the personality is going to come out in him. That's so cool.
He's been showing out who his personality is. When the maker showed me the when we were going through the construction process, we had the biggest conundrum over the teeth, because he started out with a full mouthful of rounded teeth, kind of like the Wallace and Gromit, and then we did 2 fangs, and the 2 fangs looked a little too fierce, so we finally decided on just the 1 fang, and that just made him dopey enough, and he's quite proud of his blue manicure and his pedicure as well.
Oh my goodness, no way.
So, but
Yeah,
so
he's got a great, that facial look is nothing but like, oh, it's limitless what he's gonna, his like attitude on stage, how he's gonna
Yep.
be. They do. You just start watching them. That's exactly what Mike said. You don't need to be a ventriloquist.
nope.
You don't even need to talk at all about them. And just interact.
When I bring Bjorn the beer out, if anybody's looking at me, I'm either have something on my face or my zipper's down. So, you bring out a big 4 foot tall polar bear with buck teeth and big toe beans and everything like that, and ain't nobody looking at me. So
no, not at all. That's and then the head movement, constantly looking in this and there, because you're not just holding it static, which
No.
is the thing. You keep it moving, and so they definitely always look there.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, is that the most important part about working with a puppet is that it's supposed to be a living, breathing creature, and people don't, hi, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. And no, they're looking around and everything. And if someone talks to them, you will see that when someone talks to the puppet, I will turn the head to look at them, and even sometimes tilt the eyes down, because, I'm short-sighted and will look at someone over my glasses. So.
Fantastic. I love it, man. I was looking forward to this a lot. Thank you, Mike. That was fantastic. It just, because it will help a presentation like crazy.
Yeah.
I've been working on a rabbit, puppet rabbit in a hat
Mm-hmm.
to do a magic trick. Now, there's not many magic tricks you can do with one hand.
Nope.
So I've been working on this routine that a gentleman named, his moniker is the magical ventriloquist. He has a little routine, but I don't want to take his routine. That's not right either.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he's publicized it and all that, I'd rather. So I've been working on that to do part and put it in my thing, because I think they're just so much fun. They, like Mike said, you add another character without adding another mouth to feed, without adding any break time, without adding any of that. You've got another character in your show. Cool, man. I love it. Thank you, Mike, so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And like Mike said, he's got the knowledge. Ask him questions, man. So, wow, we are running long. Maybe I might hold my thing till next week. We might even wait. We can. If we had Bob and all of them there, we've already been going on an hour and 30 minutes. We want to keep it down to a reasonable time here, so I think I'll do.
I want to go for some ice cream now that that's all.
I know they made me hungry. That's what I said earlier. I want to go out to eat.
It's supper time, and
it is. It's supper time. So
Bjorn's tummy's growling here. So
that's got to be pretty noisy if Bjorn's tummy's growling. He's got
yeah. His tummy. I mean, he's got quite a big tummy too. So yeah,
it's filled with a beach ball, huh?
Yeah. He's filled with a beach ball. They both are.
Wow.
So they're actually super light. As I say, they're just awkward. So
I was, entertaining is the word. Not, I mean, it's awkward for you to hold and all that, but just so entertaining. I just wow, I just love it. I think probably, you can see him right there. Where is it? There on my shelf. That's a little Yeti I bought at a ventriloquist convention, but haven't done anything with him. He's a cute little guy. He's got the stick that holds the hand.
Yep.
And but I haven't done. I think he's cute as can be. He's kind of a funny looking guy, but
Yeah.
I think they are fun. I think it's a good idea to get into them, and great for an elf, great for Mrs. Claus, Santa. I mean, especially the reindeer. Man, that's just like it's just limitless what you can do with that little reindeer.
The little reindeer, when I saw it at one of the stores that we worked for a couple of years back. I took a look at it, and Santa goes, "We're getting the reindeer, aren't we?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're getting the reindeer." So we did a few extra story times at that store, and we got the reindeer. So
Wow, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So, well, let's see. We're going to go through any of the things. We got any questions from anybody here? Or Ken Kringle's on. Ken says, "You've experienced writer's block with a puppet. How do you get the idea for your performance?"
as far as writer's block with the puppet, I just play with it. I'm sure my neighbors think I'm going schizophrenic or something, because I'm talking to myself. I try to figure out when we're doing our formulation for our story times that we do online. I try to figure out, in particular, well, recently, what Bjorn would be doing during the story times that Santa and Phineas do. How a gruff bear that just really wants to eat all the cookies he can get into his mouth would be handling the situation as to what we're doing. Yeti, we're trying to figure out what his personality is, and so that involves Phineas and Santa interacting with Yeti
back and forth, just playing. Yeah, and you'll find that character will probably change a few ways as a few events go, but
Yep.
He'll just be that fun-loving, goofy little guy that might make mistakes or whatever his character is.
Yep.
His face is dynamite.
Yep. And that's basically it. So the baby Yeti is, the baby Yeti comes out and they're very shy and very cautious, but once they get comfortable with who they're with, as I say, they'll wink and blow kisses and cover their eyes and everything like that, and wave. And at one point he did do the gesture and everything like that because someone was giving him attitude, and he was like, "I'm going to give you attitude back," So
it's just a puppet. It's a puppet. Don't worry, they can't take it.
I always liken the baby Yeti to, I don't know if anybody saw the Jim Henson show Dinosaurs, but there was the baby dinosaur and
not the mama.
not the mama. God love me, I'm cute, but the baby was also the source of 99% of the trouble on the show, and so that's baby Yeti's personality, is that we're going to pretend to be a gentle little baby, but at the same time we've got some edge. And then the reindeer is just shy and quiet and a baby reindeer, and
cute.
So,
wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We gonna wrap her up. I'm gonna hold my section, Santa's tips, till next week's. We'll do it again next week. That's okay. Got a trick that was based on a trick from Supreme Magic. Called Farmyard Frolics, but it's a Christmas version. I'm going to show you guys that I've made up. So we're going to have some fun with,
Looking forward to it.
We have some fun with that next week. So thank you again, everybody. Please join us on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube with the Bob Randyl and Company Live. 1225 is what is on there. Please subscribe there. We don't have a whole lot of subscribers. Please just hit the old like button, and of course, subscribe to Tuesday Night Live on YouTube. Don't miss tomorrow night, of course, Tuesday Night Live. Wednesday night with the Kringle Brothers. Thursday night with Mel, the Santa's Magical Fellowship. And, of course, this I hear. Thank you, Paul. Paul said Erica Mitten is this week in Wingnut the Elf. So join them right after Mel's time. So all we can do is say thank you for everybody that's joining us. Myke, you are dynamite. Just such a cool professional. And I know I said it's last week, I think, that you played but the Red Suit Conclave Myke just sat in the lobby, played his guitar, sang some very cool Fraggle Rock songs. If you guys remember Fraggle Rock and Emmett Jughead bands from that movie, and
Yep.
we ended with a Christmas song. It was
A bunch of lullabies, and
just
singing lullabies to Santa and Mrs. Claus is very cool. I will say
such a wonderful gift that Myke's got, and such a talent. Thanks, Myke, for being.
Oh.
I mean, for filling. I just and the puppets. I mean, this guy is vast full of knowledge when it comes to entertainment. So you are, and that's what we've got in this industry. That's what's cool about this industry. There are so many people that Santas and Mrs. Claus's, elves, that have so much knowledge, so much entertainment value, and be performers that help you as your character, and things you can do, give you ideas. Even the new people can have wonderful ideas. They really do, because they have fresh eyes starting out.
Yep.
So always get together with everybody. So from me, Randall and Myke, Angela back there. Got anything else to say, Myke, before we?
No, just wanted to thank everybody for coming and watching, and thank Randyl and Angela for being wonderful hosts, and everybody in Navarre Beach, and hoping they have a good vacation. And
yeah, have a safe trip back home, guys. We'll watch you tomorrow night. Thank you again, guys, for joining Bob Randyl and Company. Thanks, Angela, Myke, everybody, for joining us. Thank you again. Have a great week. Watch tomorrow night, Staycation, Tuesday Night Live. Have a good one.
have a good night.